So many people worry about if other people like them when in reality they should be shifting their energy and making people need them. Okay, let's talk about it real fast. So when people meet other people, they always think like, oh, I hope this person likes me, especially when they're trying to get access into a certain space, community, job. Maybe they're trying to get access to a person romantically. They always want to make sure that that person likes them instead of making that person need them or becoming the person that they can need. Now, when you put yourself in a position of thinking, I hope this person likes me, or what if they don't like me, or anything of that capacity, what you're doing is you're shifting your energy, and now you're putting yourself below this person, because now you are automatically assuming in their mind that they don't like you, that you are beneath them, or there's something unlikable about you, right? And I'm talking about before you get confirmation that someone, dislikes you, of course. But that can be dangerous because it shifts energy and also shifts your power, right? Your power should always be within you and grounded and centered within you. So when I meet someone, I shouldn't be concerned if they like me or if they, feel some type of way about me, because I'm automatically being myself and I'm standing in my power. And whether they like me, that's irrelevant, right? Now, I should be focusing on the relationship. I should be focused on if I like them, or if they can be a benefit the same way I would be a benefit to them, right? That's how relationships should be formed. Relationships are, back and forth energies being, mutually exchanged. Now, so many people, when they interact with people, they're thinking like, oh, I hope this person likes me, or they're wishing and praying and all these other things. And it's like, no, don't do that. Stand in your power. And that is the reason why a lot of people struggle with, confidence, and they struggle with showing up all the way, is because you are so worried about what people think about you. And that should be the last thing on your mind. The only thing on your mind when you meet people for the first time and you're trying to gain access into whatever they have is how they can be a benefit, like I said, of course, but also like you should be rooted in your power. You should be rooted in the fact that in confidence. You should be rooted in the fact that I am great, so therefore this person's going to think I'm great, right? I cannot tell y'all how many times I have been in interviews before, and I have interviewed for positions that I just knew I was not qualified for, or I was a little bit intimidated or whatever in the call, and I'm thinking like, oh, these people don't like me, right? Like, they're not giving me no emotion, they're not smiling at me, all like, they're not being chummy to me. And so I'm thinking like, oh, this person does like me. And then days later I get a call like, hey, we would like for you to come to a round 2, or we would like for you to have the job. And you're like, what? Right? Because I shifted my energy into their hands instead of just standing firm into who I am and exuding my power and exuding my gifts and my talents. Now, you want to make sure that people need you, right? Become the person that people need. Become the person that people need to call on when they have this specific problem or this specific area of interest. How do you become somebody that people need? Well, you stand in your power, number one. And second, you become resourceful. How can you become the person that people needs if you're always overextending yourself, trying to make sure that people like you, trying to make sure that people are going to like your personality or how you come across or how you look or things like that? That's none of your business. You need to become the person that people need. The person that when they first meet you, they're like, wow, I need this person on my team. Wow, I need this person's product that they're selling. Wow, I need this person to be my wife. Wow, I need this person to be my husband. Whatever the situation may be. But you need to be the person they need and not worrying about whether they like you. That's a shift of power, and that's a shift of energy, and that's the perfect way to start off a relationship imbalanced. And that will hurt you along the lines, around the way. But become the person that people need. Become so great. Become so powerful within your gift in what you do that it speaks for itself, and you don't got to worry if people like you, because guess what? People still buy products from people they don't like. People still hire and work with people they don't like, right? Because when you're needed, when your gifts are needed, it does not matter. Now, because I love the Bible, y'all, I talk about the Bible all the time. Let's tie this into the Bible. David. I tell y'all all the time, I love the story of King David. So when King David was first you know, when he was young and he was, you know, herding sheep or whatever, they didn't like him. Matter of fact, when God was trying to appoint a king, or whatever, to replace, what was it, King Saul, David went up there. They did not like him. They did not deem him to be anything worthy of a king, right? They overlooked him. They did not like him, right? But David stood in his power. He went back to the fields, herd the sheep. He learned how to shoot the slingshot or whatever it was. He learned, and he stood in his power, and he perfected who he was, and he perfected his craft. Then the day that he was needed was the day that he fought Goliath. When he fought Goliath, it did not matter that his brothers did not like him for the job, that his own dad overlooked him for the job, that King Saul thought he was not it for the job, and everything. Why? Because now he was needed. When he slayed Goliath and nobody else was willing to do it, now the fact that he stood in his power, the fact that he stood in who he was, and he now was needed for the job. It overweighs every time if somebody likes you. He wasn't worried about that. That's the least of your concern. When you perfect your craft, when you perfect what it is that you have to offer, people are going to need you. And it will not matter if they like you. Be blessed.